If you're looking at how to modify your Honda Civic, you're probably looking at a bunch of different categories. You're looking at things like coilovers, intakes, wheels, and most importantly, exhaust. But the thing is it's all just a bunch of tubes and metal, and it's really hard to actually figure out which one should you buy. So we actually have an AWE Track Edition exhaust for a 10th Gen Honda Civic that was actually picked up at Martini Works, and we're gonna unbox it with you so that you know what to expect if you plan on buying this. AWE actually has a very good name behind them, and what I do like about this is the fact that you're not getting something that's junk right out of the box. Now, AWE, most of their stuff is just T304 stainless, I want to say, so it's pretty standard metal, anything too crazy, but the biggest thing with AWE is that they have like two different versions of exhaust. They have track and they have touring. Track, for the most part, if you just want loud ass noises, you're gonna want the Track Edition. It's a very simple exhaust, usually straight piped all the way through. It's got some bends in it to make sure you don't get too much drone, but it's going to be a louder exhaust. Their touring features something called 180-degree drone technology. There's a fancier term, we'll put it up on the screen. But what that means is that it has a different assembly for the touring so that you don't actually get drone in your exhaust. We are looking at the track version. Now, this box is huge and everything is heavy, so as I walk through this, just give me a quick second. This is what it will look like when you do actually buy an AWE exhaust. It's a big box, it's heavy, but the good news is I'm strong. I'm not that strong. I'm not that strong. Oh, great news, between the two, Track Edition is also more affordable. Again, you're probably looking at right around anywhere from $1,095 to $1,195, whereas the touring is about $1,345. This one specifically, if you're looking at the 10th Gen Honda Civic Si, you're going to get about 6 more horsepower and maybe a foot or 2 foot-pounds of torque. So you really are buying this more so for the exhaust note than you're buying it for the performance, but you do get everything that you need in this kit to make your Si sound absolutely kick-ass. Now, there's a few things to keep in mind that I really like about AWE over some of the competitor models, which is why we're talking about this. The first thing is, when it comes to installing an exhaust, I would like to consider myself relatively pretty advanced, but I am a big idiot when it comes down to making sure that this stuff is tightened down and is actually at like the right overlap. Most exhaust companies will just kind of let you figure it out. They'll give you a V-band and then you just tighten it and you hope it works. AWE has this kind of extended flange here that you see. And I know it looks like not a very big deal, but what it does is when you go to interlink the exhaust, you actually push it all the way in and then you can't go any further, which means that when it's fully kind of integrated, it's right. If you've installed an exhaust in the past and it doesn't have this kind of outward flange, you know exactly what I'm talking about because it's a pain in the ass. Now, there's a couple other pieces in here. We got the box and we have one of the most important parts. Now this obviously goes to this, so you get yourself a nice dual exit. You can get different tips for this setup as well. So if you guys are looking to picking up an exhaust from Martini Works and you want the black versus polished versus, you know, whatever other finishes AWE offers, you just want to let us know. One of the big things I do want to say before I forget, track and touring, which one should you buy? Touring, like I said, uses that 180-degree technology that AWE patented, so nobody can use it. But essentially what touring, the 180 technology does is it essentially acts as just a baffle. So as the frequency goes through the exhaust, they have these little cuts at the top and the bottom of just the overall assembly here. And what happens is that vibration, that sound frequency will go into that hole and kind of bounce around a little bit before it comes back out. They say it comes back out at the same frequency as the initial kind of like frequencies going through the exhaust, but because it reduces the amount of range of the frequency, you get a calmer, kind of more resonated sound. It essentially quiets it up a little bit. It kind of gives it a little bit more time. Acts as a baffle without actually being a baffle. Kind of acts like a cat without being a cat. I don't want to put words in AWE's mouth because that's just how I'm taking their technology and interpreting it into maybe something that makes a little bit more sense. What I can say is if you already have a loud car and you want to give something that's going to give it a little bit more of a refined note, I probably recommend the Touring. However, with the SI and with the 10th gen, I like them a little bit louder. I like them to be a little bit more raspy. I like the sound that they can emit with a little bit more of a straight through exhaust. And so the Track Edition, I think, is going to sound absolutely sick on Melvin's car. Now, a couple other fun facts for you, if you don't like reading and you'd rather have some random person on the internet tell you about it, is that all of this stuff made in the USA. That's a big deal for you. That's awesome. If it's not, nobody cares. But the best box is right here. This is where you're gonna get all of your flanges and hooks and clamps and all the goodies. Melvin was the guy who ended up picking this up from Martini Works. He went with the black tips, which have a 1-year warranty on the finish. The rest is lifetime, which is very cool. The finish looks pretty good. Usually I'm kind of a stickler with finishes because sometimes it just looks like big booty cheeks, but they hope you never notice it. But this actually looks pretty good. Noticing a little bit of, I'm assuming somebody in QA goes to wipe this off before it gets packaged. There's just some really fine marks there, but not anything you would notice. At the end of the day, it's an exhaust. It's not a freaking over fender kit. And then probably the neatest little thing, you get a little blow pop. Huh? A little blow pop for your troubles. I do like that it comes with QR codes. Looks like it tells you everything that you need to know for your install guide. So that's actually really nice. What I will say is a little bit weird, if you guys are watching this with me, is the QR codes on the actual exhaust components seem to just go to Google. They don't really take you anywhere, but the QR code in the box takes you to the actual install instructions. So that's exactly what we need. Real quick, one of the big things that I'll say is that if you are looking to modify your 10th gen SI, exhaust is a big one. A lot of people go with straight through exhaust. They just want to straight pipe it. That's great. But getting something with a little bit of quality, a little bit of brand behind it, AWE does a really good job at giving you more noise, giving you more excitement in the sound without it being too over the top. A lot of exhausts on Honda Civics can get over the top. I don't even need to say it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The AWE does a really good job at giving you some extra noise. So the Track Edition is really cool. I like the fact that they give you a little bit of a Track Edition serial number here, performance unlocked. That's nice. But overall, the assembly and the install should be very, very easy. Some things that make it very, very easy is AWE gives you the installation instructions. They make sure that you actually have some bends in here so you don't over tighten or under tighten or push it in too far or don't push it in too far. You get this, is gonna make it really easy to install your dual tips. And at the end of the day, a lot of times, AWE keeps a lot of this good stuff in stock, which means we also keep it in stock. So I'd give us a really good rating. This is an awesome kit, showed up great in the box. Obviously, we're just people that are reviewing it just like you. So if we saw something wrong with it, we would tell you. If you're looking for car parts, you can mod your car at Martini Works, which obviously we're just a bunch of car guys that are looking to make sure that you get the right parts. You don't have to buy from big corporate bullies. You can buy from the homies that give a shit. So if you have any questions on the AWE exhaust, let us know in the comments below. Overall, very impressed with the product. Excited to see what Melvin does with his SI. Thank you so much for the support. We'll see you next time.